Now, with what we're talking about, when we talk about, we hear a lot of people, a lot of times they tell us, we don't precede the ulama in our statements. And this is correct. This is absolutely correct. No doubt about it. But the thing that people aren't explaining to us, and it doesn't make sense that we haven't come across this information before. But the thing that people haven't been explaining to us is, okay, now we find out that a scholar has spoken about something. What do we do now? Because this applies to this particular situation. Do we say, okay, because Sheikh Falan or Sheikh Alan, he said that this was the ruling, or this is what we do, or this is the position of the Muslims, that now I have the right or the ability to go and tell everyone else, no, you have to do this because of the statement of Sheikh Falan or Sheikh Alan? No, this is not what this means. This is not what we mean when we say, okay, we wait to see what the scholars have to say. We look and see what the scholars, this is a plural, this word is plural, have to say about the situation. We look to see, okay, do they agree or do they disagree? If they agree, we say, okay, well, listen, the scholars, their statement is one. Now, we don't go against this. We don't go against this. This is what the scholars are saying. But if we find that the scholars disagree, what do? Do we take one of the scholars' opinion and say, try and shove it down someone else's throat and say, listen, you have to go by this because the sheikh said this and this was the sheikh's dalil? Is this our position? Can we do this because we have the statement of a particular scholar? Unfortunately, you're going to find a lot of people that are going to tell you yes. But I want to tell you now, this is incorrect. You can't force the opinion of a scholar, regardless of who they may have been or who they are, down the throat of anyone when another scholar or other scholars come and they say, well, listen, I see it to be another way, and I have proofs and evidences as well. That individual that you're speaking with has the right to decide which opinion they're going to take. They're following behind a scholar, following their dalil. This is exactly what Allah Ta'ala has commanded them to do. فَاسْأَلُوا أَهْلَ الذِّكْرِ إِن كُنتُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. Ask the people of knowledge if you don't know. They found out what the people of knowledge had to say, and they're riding with one of their statements. They're going to go and follow something that Ahl al-Ilm, the people of knowledge, said. And we think that we have the right or the ability to come behind them and tell them, no, listen, we don't go with that statement, we go with this statement because this sheikh said it. Our ulama don't do this, so we shouldn't be doing this. Those people that are doing this understand that it's not necessarily that they mean bad for you. It may just be that they don't understand as well. But know that you don't have the right to do this to anyone else, and neither does anyone have the right to do this to you in issues where, yes, we've waited and heard what the scholars had to say, but where the scholars differ. Do you understand? This is what I want you to understand about this. Yes, without a shadow of a doubt, as we said before, we wait to hear what the scholars have to say about issues. If they agree, we go with their statement. If they disagree, we go with the scholar that we feel understands the best, and we follow that. But we can't force that opinion on anyone else. And we need to understand, just because we waited to get an opinion of a scholar, this does not mean that this is the opinion of all the scholars. May Allah Ta'ala continue to guide us to that which is correct.